Today's video I'm gonna show you how to create a bar chart in Power BI. Also, I'm gonna show you what is the maximum and minimum sales, which I'm gonna show you with the trend over months. And along with, I also gonna use a color format so that you can have the minimum sales as a red color and the maximum sales as a green color, like this. In addition to this, I'm gonna create a separate bar chart which will show the number of cells or the number of bars having the maximum cells than the average cells of the total cells at the database level. The number of total cells having the maximum cells than the average cells we gonna define in this session as a target. Whatever maximum cells we have than the average cells we have in green color, and the minimum cells than the average cells we have a red color in this session, like this. If you are interested to create this kind of bar chart which shows your color dynamically with setting average cells as a target, and also the maximum or minimum cells with a dynamic color. So see you in a moment. Here I have my VI desktop launched and I have connected with a data set, and you can see the tables available in the right side under data pane. We have noted down a few points before going to create a bar chart dynamically with colors. Here we have two bar charts in this session to be created. First, for the first we need net sales. Then I will create a bar chart with this created net sales calculation over a period. In this case, we're gonna use years and months. Then I will show the maximum sales and minimum sales over this bar chart, and then gonna create a color format measure to apply over this. Which one is the maximum sales will show as a green color, and which one is the minimum sales show as a red color. This is for the first bar chart, and for the second bar we have the net sales what we have created here. The same net sales I'm gonna use here. Additionally, I'm not going to create for the second bar chart. I'm not going to create maximum minimum sales. Instead, I will have average sales. So I will create average sales, and considering this average sales as a target, then I gonna create a color format measure applying over this bar chart, which shows whatever the sales above than the average sales, we have all sales bar in green color, and whatever sales we have lower than the average sales, we will have all the bar showing a minimum sales lower than the average sales as a red color. So let's start how to create this. So for doing, we have these points to be calculated first. So I will create a separate table so that I can have all the measures in that separate table. So here I gonna use measure var, var chart. This is my table name where I gonna use whatever measures I gonna created will have all these calculation under this just created table. Now place mouse over this new created table and create a new measure from this icon. Here I'm going to create net sales. Net sales is sum x sales table, sales quantity and sales unit price. We will format as a currency. Now I have net sales. Then I gonna create a bar chart over this. So just drag a bar chart here. I have created a net sales. Just drag it here. Now this is showing as a single bar because I have not used the another dimensions. So here I gonna use under the date. Here I'm going to use a month. Now here we have 12 months with the bar chart. In this bar chart, we are able to see the net sales over the month. So here I'm going to remove this net sales or this kind of things which I don't require. So just go to here and just no need this one, also no need this one. Now I'm going to have a max or min sales to identify which one is the maximum sales in this graph and which one is the minimum sales in this graph. So going to create a new measure for maximum sales and the minimum sales. So just place a mouse over, now create a new measure. Here I gonna use maximum sales max x. Here all selected. I'm gonna select it date, year and date, month with the net sales. Now in the same way I'm going to copy for the new measure which is my minimum sales. So just paste here and rename as a min sales, and here max x you can write min x this. Now hit enter. Now we have maximum sales and minimum sales. Now I'm going to create a color format for this. So we need to create a measure so that we can apply maximum sales and minimum sales. Then I'm gonna input here as a column color, which will show a green color which is the maximum sales, and showing a red color which is the minimum one. So for this you have to create a new measure. Here I'm going to use color format. Now I'm creating a variable A as a max cells. Now creating a variable B as a min cells. Now return switch true net cells is equal to the max cells. Then I gonna use a green color for this. Again net cells equal to mean cells, then I gonna use a red color for this. Else net cell is not equal to the max cells all, and net cells is not equal to the mean cells. Then we have a light gray color for the. Now hit enter. Now I have created a color format for coloring the bar. So select the bar chart, go under format part in the column where blue color is showing currently because your chart having all the bars as a blue color, so you gonna use FX here. That is why we have created a measure for this. So in this way you're gonna use color format for this. Now here everything is showing as a gray color. Now here I'm gonna use a filter so that it can filter here. Now here I'm going to use here as a filter, and here I'm using like vertical list like filter here. Now you can see these are the year. Now just select any one this here. You can see your maximum cells is in green color now and your minimum cells is in red color now. Now what I want here as a title which shows maximum cells is this much of amount and the minimum cells is this much amount, and what is the percentage value from the net cells versus the maximum cell. So for this you have to create one more measure. So just go and create a measure. So I'm going to have measure name as a title. Here you have to use max cells as a format net cells as dollar this 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 dot 0 m. Also I gonna show you as a mean cells, that means minimum cells along with the minimum cells value. So here I gonna use format net cells as dollar hash I want double zero, so give it double zero. After decimal we have a decimal point, along with I gonna use a space, or I gonna use a pipe sign here. Here I'm going to use a percentage value. So format max cells minus mean cells. Here I gonna use divide max cells and mean cells by mean cells. as 0.0%. Now what I want here a max cells. So just write here max cells and here you're gonna write min cells. Now hit enter. Now select the chart, go to the format part, and in general we have a title. So for title you just click the effects. Here you're gonna select which I have just created a title part. Now you can see we have maximum sales like this, minimum sales like this, and what is the percentage of max sales to minimum sales. This is what we have here as a header. Now I'm going to select the next 2018. We have the minimum sales here and the maximum sales here, and you can see your title gonna change it dynamically. So what I want some formatting part. So I want title should be header 2, and here I'm gonna use like this or somewhere like this. I want to use as a 12. Now I want a font color also, so that red part, what is the minimum sales, it will show here as a red, and it will show as a green here, and rest would be a gray color. So just uh, apply the same color which I have used, created here a color format. Now go to here and click data. Now just go here and apply over a value. So just click here field value and you can use a color format here. Now and make it bold. Now you can see your minimum sales is 0.36 and maximum sales is 0.70. Here title gonna change. I don't want to have a title to be change anything with the color, so just remove from the color. We have the title static. Now just select this one. You can see your minimum sales showing as a red along with the data level as a red, and the maximum sales is showing as a green along with the green value. You can see the same thing. Max sales 1.67, 1.67, mean sale 0.44 million, mean sales 0.44 million. This is what I dynamically we have created a bar chart. Now for the second thing, I gonna create the same thing. So just go to the third page. Here I gonna use a net sales. So I have already been created net sales, and now just copy this one. I want to have this on third. Now here I have to use average sales. So need to create average sales measure first. So create a measure. Here average sales. So average X, all selected, a date, year and date, month. I'm gonna use a net sales. This will give us average sales. Now I'm going to create a color format for this because I want whatever the cells will have over the average cells have a green color, and lower than the average cells we're gonna compare if I will create a measure for color formatting. So same for I going to create a new measure. So color average, just give a name like this so that you can identify which calculation will have which place. Here I gonna create a variable a like net cells and variable b like average cells. Now I gonna return switch true if net cells is greater than the average cells, we have a green color. If net cells lower than the average cells, we have red color. And net cells which is not equal to average cells means it is net cells which is not either a greater than or lower than, those will be have a light gray color. But in this case, there is no sense for having this because either we have a greater than the average cells or lower than the average cells. So that's it for that. Now create a bar chart. Place the same thing what we did last time. Just delete this one because column 1 I don't require now. Now you have to use net cells here and we will have a month. We will have month. Now we have 12 months net cells. Now what I want the calculation which I gonna create it for the average cells as a benchmark, and whatever what we have greater than the average cells will show in a green and lower will show in a red color. So select this one, go under format, under column you have a color here, so just click FX, select a field value. Here you will create color average because this is average part. Now everything is showing as a green. Why? Because these were having higher cells than the average cells at the overall level. That means at the database level. I'm gonna show you using a filter. Here I'm gonna use filter as a year. Now use vertical list like this and select this one. Just remove the title, those things. So just here remove this one. And here now select this one. You will have two green bars having cells better than the average cells, and the four red bars showing the having cells lower than the average cells. Now select 2018, we have this much of bar. So here green bars showing the better than cells than the average cells, and red bars showing the lower cells than the average cells. Average cells. Average cells is a kind of target or a benchmark we have set for this chart.